The latest market stats for the month of August 2020 are out, and we're going to discuss all the major takeaways and everything I think, in my personal and professional opinion, that you should know in today's video. So this is a market update video. As always, this is Sam from SaberiSixRealEstate, as well as Remax Realtron Realty Inc. My information is in the description box. If you enjoy this video, get in touch with me, subscribe, comment, rate, and review, all of that. Let's get on with the video and let's talk about the latest stats and what they tell us. So what I'm gonna do is, in this video, break down the stats at first with the major takeaways, the major headlines. Then I'm gonna break them down a little bit more detailed by property type. And lastly, after the property type, I'm gonna break them down in a different way by area. Let's start with the major headlines I think we should discuss, which is, in my opinion, 3 figures. Figure number 1. Total residential transactions in the GTA-wide. This is a year-to-year figure, right? So it's from August 2019, comparing, once again, the month of August 2019 to the month of August 2020. It's not, as people typically sometimes mistakenly think, it's not an annual figure. It's not comparing from August 19 to August 2020. That's not what it is. It's just the month of August 2019 versus the month of August 2020. Furthermore, by total, what we mean is GTA wide. So total residential transactions were up 40%, from 7,682 to 10,775. The latter figure obviously being in the month of August 2020. Now that figure in and of itself does not really give us a good idea of how the market's doing, because it doesn't give us a price. It just says how many transactions occurred, how many times a house or the title or the keys got exchanged between people. The second figure I think we should take a look at is the fact that the average selling price, once again GTA wide, is up by a factor of 20%. The average selling price in August 2019 was $792,000, whereas in August 2020 it was $951,000. So that is an increase of 20 somewhat percent. One last major figure I think we should discuss generally right now is the days on the market. Now this is the number of days a house stayed on the market. So if I have a commodity and it takes me 5 days to sell it versus your commodity, it takes you 25 days to sell it, that in of itself, you can't really deduce much from it. But that figure in conjunction with other figures can lead you down the right path. For days on the market, there was a decrease of 33% from August 2019 as compared to August 2020. In 2019, the average days on the market was 36, whereas in 2020, it was 24. Now, this figure can be somewhat misleading, because I can have a property that's been on the market for 50 days, but it's only been on the market for 50 days because I'm a fickle seller and I really want a nickel and dime. And hey, maybe I might be right. Maybe this property I'm trying to sell has a lot of emotional value to me, and I think I'm not going to sell low on it. So just because the property is on the market for a long time does not say anything about the market or the commodity itself, right? Like I said, generally in of itself, this figure does not give any insights into much, but with conjunction with other figures and assuming a standard rates of prudency and reasonable capacity on the part of sellers and buyers, this figure with conjunction of other figures can lead you down the right path and illuminate further about the market. Let's go a little bit more specific and take a look at this chart by property type. Now, as you can see, this is the year-to-year difference by property type, also filtered for locations. So what really stands out to me in this chart is the fact that in number of sales, if we just look at that quadrant of the chart, the number of sales of a semi-detached, which increased year to year by a factor of 66%, really says a lot about what end users, specifically I would say end users, really are able to afford at this moment. It outweighs and supersedes the increase in detached, which is by 50%. I think for multiple factors, people can now afford semi-detached far more often than they can afford detached homes. And that's why a lot of buyers are flocking towards the semi-detached. Now, if we look at the same metric with different property type, which is the condo apartment, just the number of transactions is only up 10%. Now, I say only up 10% because typically this figure is much higher. This really shows that right now condo market is a bit low and it's taking a dip, at least in the month of August. My prediction is in the month of September, it's going to be exacerbated further because of the regulations. I've made many videos recently about it, and in those videos I even stated that at times the price has dipped. The average price has dipped in certain areas. Now, once again, keep in mind this is GTA wide. The condo videos I made recently talking about how there's going to be stagnation within the market. It's a buyer's market now because of the regulations with the Airbnb and all the rental listings and all that, and people want to move out of downtown core. That was, once again, just about downtown. This is GTA wide, but even that, we're seeing it have an effect. It's up 10%, but 10% compared to all the other property types and all other months of previous years, that's nothing for condo apartments. I mean, nothing might be putting it strongly, but it's definitely not up as much as all other property types and not up as much as condos were up in the past. This is reflected in the average selling price. When you look at the fact that detached homes are up at 19%, semi 18%, townhouses 16%, condos were only up 9%. And once again, this is GTA wide. Specific downtown core areas, they were actually down, as I stated in previous videos. Now let's look at this last chart, which breaks down by area in terms of new listings, number of transactions, and average price by the 905, the 416, and GTA wide. One key figure I actually want to focus on, which I don't know what to make of as of now, is the fact that even though the number of new listings were up in this month, 2020, month of August 2020 versus the month of 2019, we're looking at 11,000 new listings versus 8,000 new listings in last year, the same month. Relative to the number of new listings, even though there are more new listings this August, there was less sold, so less transactions. So in other words, in August 2020, we had 11,000 new listings and about 7,000 transactions. The exact figures are up on the screen. Whereas in August 2019, we had less new listings of 8,000. However, we had more sold transactions relative to the number of listings, which was 5,000. So the difference is less. That's the market update for month of August. I have many more videos coming up. Watch my previous videos. I always discuss the latest news and trends in real estate. I make videos about top 5 lists, things tenants should know, buyer mistakes, things you should look at in a house, showings, and all that. Then I make videos after I finish a transaction, whether it's a rental transaction, a lease, or if it's a purchase and sale, whether I'm working on the buyer or seller, or in some transactions, both sides. I make videos about, what your money can buy, showing that in this transaction, this is what I bought for my client. In this transaction, this is what I sold for my client. And yeah, lastly, sometimes I make videos about myself and the real estate industry wide. So feel free to watch all those and subscribe, comment, rate, and review. Thank you very much for watching, and feel free to get in touch. Let's go Raptors.